Alright, what's up YouTube? So if you watched my last video, you know I just announced that I'm going to be doing this full ABA swap, and I have about 16 days to do it, a little over 2 weeks, and then I'm going to bring my car out to Yukon Car Show. That is the goal. So I'm going to start with taking this engine out. So I'm going to get right to this. I got to jack the car up, I got it in here, everything's ready to go. Got the car jacked up pretty good here. Now I'm just going to remove the hood. Not all cars are going to have this sway bar, but mine does, so I got to remove this, get it out of the way. There's a nut underneath, hold mine on. Just pulled the oil plug out, so oil's draining out. Got to get all the oil out of the engine. Next thing I'm taking out is the whole air box. Got to remove this big hose clamp. That can come off of there. You know what else is a good thing to do that I'm going to do right now before I go too far is just take some pictures of the engine so you know what it looks like before. Because when you put it back together, you're not going to always remember how everything went. Alright, so this is able to come out now. This bolt does nothing down here. And I have this one sensor right here. It's got to come out. Alright, air box is out. Perfect. The timing cover too. Well, that doesn't need to come off right now. I'll just get it out of my way though. Out of the way, the next thing I want to do is drain my coolant. This is going to make a mess. What I'm going to pull is this one right here. Maybe. There we go. Thankfully these hoses feel like they're in pretty good shape. I'm going to try and pull this off and kind of not do that, which was kind of the hope. Right now it's just leaking everywhere. Sometimes you're just going to make a mess. Tonight is one of those times. This coolant is like real brown. That's not good at all. So I think I have some cooling issues. Alright, I've gotten about 90% of the coolant on the floor, 10% in the bucket. That's pretty bad. 2 wires holding the alternator on. When I do this, I like to snap a lot of pictures of all the wiring. I've got this line coming in. That hose clamp is an 8mm, but I doubt that's stock. I'm just going to let that drain out. But, on top you have a what I think is a 16mm nut actually, but I don't have a 16mm wrench, I guess. So 5/8 is, might be a 5/8, but I don't know why it would be a 5/8, but 5/8 fits on there real nice. There we go. Alright, the next one I need to remove is right down in here. This hose clamp that goes back to the heater core. It's another 8mm. I got that wire off. Next I have this water line here. Another one of these style clamps. I think these are the OEM ones. Get that ground wire off too. 10mm. I always like to put the nut right back on where it came off of when I can. If I know I'm going to be putting something back. This is going to leak everywhere. Yeah. These wires off, like this one off the distributor. Okay, so I just disconnected this wire right here. These wire clamps are really cool. These wire connectors, you just push it in and pull up. You just push. If you look at this right here, you push this in. You can see that it disengages it on the inside. That's such a cool idea. I don't know why Volkswagen stopped using that. Probably because it's cheaper to not use it anymore, but those are really awesome. Next thing that needs to come off is this wire right here. And then this hose clamp, I'm going to go ahead and say that's a aftermarket hose clamp. That's pretty cheesy. Well, this one can go right in the trash once it's done. Coming off. That's just a vacuum line. 10mm bolt on the side of the intake manifold. So that takes all those wires off. Over here we have the 2 fuel lines, one going to the top, one going to the bottom. That's probably going to leak a little when I take it off. So I have a zip tie ready. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch this line, because I don't want gas leaking everywhere like I just did. So I'm going to zip tie it like that to put a kink in the hose. You can also stick a bolt in there and throw the hose clamp back on. It's another decent option. I've done both of those before. The hose clamp is right around the back side of the pressure regulator, so I'm actually going to have to pull that pressure regulator out. Just you got to make sure everything's going backwards, because you don't want to strip that out your fuel rail. That would be a bad time. I guess mine only has one. That's not really good. I'm making more of a mess of gas than I wanted to. I don't like getting gas everywhere. Messy as I am in here. Okay, we've got a couple more wires. We've got this one down in here, right on top of that's probably for an oil sensor. Then we have these two. Those just come right off. They're nice and color coded, so they makes things nice and easy for us. Thank you, Volkswagen. We can just fish those right out of the way now. And as far as I'm concerned, that's all the wiring. Oh, there's one more back here. Looks like we have one more wire coming up to this sensor up here. That one just pulls right off. Okay. It's almost time to go underneath the car and start unbolting the transmission from the engine. Okay, so the last thing we need to disconnect up here is the throttle cable. This you could just kind of pull it forward, and it just comes right out like that. And then this is just grommet. Should hopefully come right up and out. Oh, grommet. Ah! Alright. I'm going to be removing just the engine. I'm not going to remove the transaxle too. I've heard some people say it's easier to remove it with the transaxle, but I'm not so sure that's the case. I don't know. I haven't done it before. I'm going to leave the transaxle in the car, and but I need to get that first bolt out of the starter down there, and that is a 8mm Allen. Oh wow, I was a little worried that was going to give me some grief. Once you get all these hoses and wires out of the way, it's pretty easy to get to all this stuff. There's not a lot to this engine. Alright, down here underneath the transmission, we have the starter, and then we have this other 8mm Allen. So that's got to come out, along with this right here. I believe that's a 16. And then the starter will come out. And the reason that has to come out is because the bolt goes all the way through the transmission bell housing and then into the engine block. One bracket here to go through, and then another one here. I don't have one of those engine levelers. Those things are really nice, but the strap's going to have to do. There's 2 half hitches right there. She wanted to know what it's called.
2 half hitches. We got 2 half hitches hooked up with the strap. We good. Oh, 3 half hitches.
Alright.
That's going for the big gun.
Oh yeah. Alright, we're good. So the other one. Just want to get a little tension on it now so it doesn't fall and kill us while we're under the car. Alright, now we can safely start removing everything else. Okay, this bolt up here is right on the back of the transmission. That one there is a 19mm. So right down there we have another 19, and there should be one here, but it's just missing. So I gotta remove that one too. And then I also have this jack supporting the transmission right now, because it'll just fall otherwise. And once the engine's out, I can rebolt it to that engine mount. Down here on this engine mount, we have 3 13mm bolts. Those all got to come out, and then once that is out, that should be everything supporting this thing in place. There'll probably be a wire or something behind it that I didn't see yet, but time will tell. So down here we have one bolt, and then there was another one right in here where the wrench is. Those hold the transmission in place also. So we have a jack underneath there supporting the transmission, but you got to take those out or you're not getting this engine out. Oh, dude!
What?
The exhaust is still connected. Alright, keep going, I guess.
You want to push it out?
Hold on.
Now the train's on the ground.
I haven't been able to do that without you.
At all. We should have just taken the whole engine and tranny out together, dude. Yeah, without a doubt, but now you know.
Now I know. Well, I'm still going to take the tranny out the rest of the way and I'll put it back in like that, you know?
So beautiful.
Alright, so thanks for watching part 1.
Thanks for watching.